Dorothy Scott was a 32-year-old single mother to a young 4-year-old son. She was a devout Christian. She did not smoke, do drugs or drink, and she lived in beautiful Anaheim, California. With a population of almost 350,000, busy shopping centers and gorgeous beaches, making it the most populous city in Orange County, Anaheim is also known for being the home of the Disneyland Resort. Dorothy had been receiving creepy and anonymous phone calls at work from a man who had reportedly been stalking her. He had professed his love for her and his intent to kill her. He had threatened to get her alone and cut her up into bits so no one would ever find her. Dorothy had once received a call from this creep who told her to look outside. When Dorothy did look outside, she saw a single dead red rose on the windshield of her car. This truly scared Dorothy, if nothing else had. Just a week before Dorothy disappeared, she started taking karate lessons and had considered getting a gun for protection. On May 28, 1980, Dorothy had gone to work for an evening staff meeting and one of her co-workers had been bitten by a spider, so she and another co-worker took him to the hospital. It was around 9 p.m. While they were waiting for a prescription to be filled, Dorothy went to get her car to bring it around to meet them. Her car did approach them, but it sped away. Neither could see who was driving, as its headlights had blinded them. On May 29, around 4 a.m., Dorothy's car, a white 1973 Toyota station wagon, was found burning in an alley about 10 miles from the hospital. The first conclusion was that Dorothy's stalker had caught up to her. Neither she nor her supposed kidnapper were found. Sadly, this case went cold for 4 years after Dorothy disappeared. Even though her story was in the papers and on radios, little tips or clues were uncovered. About a week after Scott's disappearance, her parents received a phone call from an unidentified man who said, "I've got her," and hung up. The same man called almost every Wednesday afternoon and said either that he had Dorothy or had killed her. The calls lasted for years. In April 1984, the man called during the evening. Jacob Scott, Dorothy's father, answered and the call stopped. Just 4 months after this last tortuous call, a construction worker discovered dog and human bones side by side, about 30 feet from Santa Ana Canyon Road. The bones found were charred and it is suspected they had been there for only 2 years, but Dorothy had been missing for 4. A turquoise ring and a watch was also found. The watch had stopped at 12:30 a.m. It is believed that Dorothy was killed at that exact time. After the discovery of Dorothy's body in August of 1984, the calls started again. Police installed a voice recorder on their phone, but unfortunately they were unable to trace the calls, as the caller made his calls short. An unidentified man had also called the front desk at the Orange County Register after a story was published about the disappearance. The call was especially eerie. Police had reported that the man said, "I killed her. I killed Dorothy Scott. She was my love. I caught her cheating with another man. She denied ever having someone else, so I killed her." That call will haunt police and Dorothy's family always. Still today, her killer has never been found. Dorothy's case remains open.